There's one thing apparently that Harry has learned from his recent stint over in Germany, Dusseldorf in fact, fronting the Invictus Games, is this. And it's a big decision that he's actually making, but as ever, he's not really allowed to make his own decisions, is he? So how does he now plough forward with this particular dilemma, which is going to affect his life moving forward? As ever, let me explain. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you today. And as ever, thank you so much for joining me. Welcome one and all brand new subscribers. And also, I'm glad you're enjoying some of the shorts. It's just little sound bites of Hollywood sorts of confidential stories, things that people have told me over the years that I've interviewed. It's fascinating when you look back, because you realize that, as I've often said, nothing is new. But of course, a lot of it was more covered up back then. And when you think about it, you just believe what the fan magazines said, didn't you? Motion picture, photo play, picture goer, all of those things. You literally bought the celebrity story. What a different world we live in now. It's a little bit like, of course, Prince Harry, who's just enjoyed, some might say, a little momentum of success after a very dark period this year, all thanks to exposing his family and, of course, the trashy docuseries for Netflix. His Heart of Invictus wasn't a success over here, and certainly, the streaming giant, as I told you before, are very concerned about where they go next. You see, yes, a streaming giant would take it on. Somebody else literally would take on that program. But would it have the same impact? And it's a bit like Meghan, as we told you with the Spotify deal. Once you've been at the top and they dump you, it's very difficult because the next people certainly don't want to pay that type of money. And more importantly, they step back and say, well, we're offering this, take it or leave it. But the bigger issue is this. Prince Harry, you see, has realised, in fact, it had to happen when you think about it, because genetically he's been brought up to just do service, whichever way you look at it. There was no payment involved, there were no deals, there were no sidelines, no wearing of clothing, exposing things. He realises that actually what he's enjoyed was this, connecting with similar personnel that he enjoyed a very enjoyable, friendly time with. Whether you like his stint out in Afghanistan twice or whatever, he clearly was a happy period in his life. And I've been told by a very well-placed source who was working alongside Prince Harry during that particular stint in Germany, he said, this really is the life that I want. This is what I want to do with the rest of my life. But as we all know, that isn't the life that his wife, the former cable TV actress Meghan Markle, wants. She wants to be famous. Harry doesn't really care, genuinely I believe this, about fame. It's something that he's had all of his life. However, for Meghan, it's something that she's been chasing all of her life, and she's certainly not going to let go of that handle now. And truly, this is going to be the bigger problem for the ex-royals. This will be, in my opinion, the breakaway period, because obviously Harry will get more and more fed up with the stress patches stuff and the dresses and stuff like that, and really will want to focus on something that he finds a little bit more meaningful, a little bit more genuinely interesting for him to take control of. As for Meghan, perhaps, in the future, and as ever, we have to say allegedly, they simply could lead separate lives, a bit like Edward and Mrs. Simpson. But either way, it's a very telling remark, isn't it, from that very close source, working alongside Prince Harry, that he truly enjoyed just simply getting in there and trying to make a difference for the people out in Invictus. As I've said to you before, we should honour them. They did a lot for us. And more importantly, wasn't it inspirational to see them enjoying themselves and, more importantly again, really enjoying the moment? But for Prince Harry, the fame game, apparently, is clearly slipping away. As for Meghan, well, I'll let you decide. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.